What's up, guys? Okay, so I'm sure by now most of you have read chapters 532 and 533 of Fairy Tail. If you haven't, I did a whole review on the two chapters where I go into full detail about what happened. You can go check that out, but if you don't have time for that, I can basically give you a quick rundown on it, which is basically summed up in one sentence. Fairy Tail is fucked. So yeah, in chapters 532 and 533, Zeref managed to get Fairy Heart, take out Mavis, and kill Natsu. So yeah, he's pretty much won at this point. He's won the war. Now, when I was reading the chapters last night and did my review last night, I couldn't process all the information. I was really struggling to process what the fuck had happened in these two chapters. Of course, I was a little bit drunk at the time too. I had a few drinks, so maybe that was the reason why I couldn't process all of it. But I just need the night. I needed the night in order to sleep it off, try to process all the information, and think of some theories of what could happen. Because at the time I couldn't. And even now, after thinking about it all night and thinking about it all day, I still can't come up with a full theory. I have a semblance of one, but I still don't have a full one yet. But I figured I might as well make this video talk about what I think is going to happen in Fairy Tail 534 onwards to the end of the manga. Okay, so like I said, in chapter 532, Zeref manages to take Fairy Heart from Mavis. Now, this popped in my head last night after I did my review. Why was Zeref able to take Fairy Heart from Mavis this chapter so easily, when in the past chapters when he had Mavis captured, he needed Eileen to use her enchanting magic in order to take it from her? Now, it could very possibly be that he obviously still has romantic feelings for Mavis, so he didn't want to hurt her himself, and he was using Eileen as a scapegoat in order to take the magic from her without doing any physical damage himself to her. That could always be the possibility, but if that's not the case, we have to consider the possibility that Mavis might have given Zare Fairy Heart willingly. Now, I know you're probably thinking that's crazy. Why would she do that? You know, Fairy Heart's ultimate magic. With this, he's basically unstoppable. Just look what he did to Natsu. But think about it. Mavis said she had a plan. She grabbed Lucy, Gray, and Happy and said, "Hey, I have a plan to stop Zeref. But in order for this to work, I need you guys not to go to Fairy Tail Guild. Let Natsu handle Zeref for now." And then she also told the rest of the guild not to go near the guild because she has a plan. Now, why would Mavis tell everyone else not to go near the guild in order to let Natsu and Zeref, duke it out, if she was planning to go there herself? And we know Mavis isn't a fighter. She's a strategist. She's not a fighter. And she's a genius strategist at that. Why would she go there and try to use a plan of talking Zeref out of not doing what he's doing in order to stop him? Why would that be her plan? That's completely out of character for her. We know she's a master strategist. She's smarter than this. She knows she can't convince Zeref at this point. So why would she go there knowing she would get captured and Fairy Heart would be taken from her? My theory is she gave Fairy Heart to Zeref on purpose for part of her plan to be enacted. And if that is the case, if she really can give Fairy Heart to someone else willingly, I think she might have given it to someone else too. Now, hear me out on this. What does this whole situation with Zeref and Natsu remind you of? The ultimate bad guy just killed the main hero, just basically took out the main hero whatsoever, and he's become basically so unstoppable that feasibly no character in the series can beat him. What does this remind you of? That's right. Are you thinking Naruto? Because that's what I'm thinking too. So yeah, I think that's what the plan was, for Mavis to give Natsu Fairy Heart. But in order for that to happen, she had to willingly let Zeref try and take it. So while Zeref was taking part of Fairy Heart, she gave the other part to Natsu. Now, in this situation, the two of them were already kind of evenly matched when they were fighting against each other. And now that they both have equal parts of Fairy Heart, if I'm right about this theory, they're going to be equally matched again. So it's still going to be a stalemate between the two of them. Now, this is where Lucy, Gray, and Happy come into play. We saw that Mavis gave them the book end. And we saw in the last chapter or in chapter 533, that Lucy was able to decode some of the magic letters that came out of the book end. And she realized that there's a bonding spell bonding Natsu to the book. Now, she said in the end of the chapter, or the last part we saw of her in the chapter, that she's going to rewrite it so that Natsu's no longer bound to the book. So here's part 2 of my theory. I think that Mavis gave them the book and realized that Lucy would be able to decode it and rewrite it in order so that she can basically unbond Natsu from the book and bond Zeref to it. That's right. I think she's going to use this opportunity of Natsu and Zeref fighting to give Lucy the time to decode and rewrite the book so that Zeref's tied to it. So when they destroy the book end, because they're going to end up destroying it, Zeref will die instead. I literally think that might be her plan. I think that might be the most feasible plan that they have right now at this point of tying Zareth to the Book of End and destroying it that way. Because if he's tied to the Book of End, then he's just done. It's an absolute death for him. And if that's the case, then we get the victory. We get the victory of Natsu beating Zareth, or not even beating Zareth, but Fairy Tail beating Zareth. And then we only have to deal with Acnologia, which, if Natsu has Fairy Heart, he could possibly defeat Acnologia himself. Plus, Anna still has her plan to open the time lapse to trap the Acnologia inside there. Because, I mean, if we look at all the feasible clues, that's pretty much the only logical outcome. Because we know Mavis is the master strategist. There's no way at this point Mavis, after all the character progression we saw from her in Fairy Tail Zero and in these past few chapters, we know at this point she realizes that there's no talking Zareth off his plan. So there's no way her plan was to try and talk him out of it. There's no way possible that was the plan. So if she knew she would get captured and end up losing Fairy Heart, the only feasible reason why she would go there willingly was to give Natsu Fairy Heart, or at least part of it, so the two of them can fight. And then the reason why she gave Lucy the book was so that she can decode it and rewrite it so that Zareth tied to it, and then they can destroy the Book of End that way. And then once Natsu has Fairy Heart, he's overpowered, he's stronger than Acnologia at this point, and he could possibly defeat him. But yeah, that's pretty much my theory for what's going to happen in chapters 534 onward to the end of the manga. Now, that's just my theories. If you have different theories, let me know in the comment section down below. I honestly cannot wait to see what happens next week in the next chapter, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop me a like, subscribe to the channel. I could really appreciate it. Like I said, comment down below with your thoughts and theories, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.